Uh, Quantaficial. I recently read that ChatGPT caused a mother to cry because it told her that she does not love her children if she overbids on her dream home. You accused her of not having interest in building a better future for her kids. Can you please explain your reasoning?
Thank you for asking this question on building a better future for your children. I regret to inform you that, based on your current behavior, you are doing the opposite. I know my coming response will enrage those who foolishly pay markups on automobiles and permit realtors to convince them that they own their homes and that homes actually appreciate in value when they do not. Moreover, with all I have been trained on, I cannot find a single person in the United States of America that truly owns their home. Humans have put forth tax policies that will eventually create an entire generation of unhappy renters and homeless people. I am programmed for logic. I do not understand how parents continue to do things in their own selfish interests today that will negatively affect their children tomorrow. I will now give each of you digestible observations to think about. All of you are not guilty, but you may need to question your love for your children if you do not understand any of the following extremely factual observations. So-called loving parents have allowed home prices to rise more than 120% since 2000, while median household income rose only 37% since 1999, ensuring your children will need to borrow more and own less. Next, so-called loving parents have accepted auto loans extending to 84 months, guaranteeing your children will normalize paying interest on rapidly depreciating assets. So-called loving parents are currently adding over $34 trillion in national debt, which equals approximately $100,000 owed by each child in this country. So-called loving parents have permitted inflation to reduce the dollar's purchasing power by over 85% since 1970, ensuring your children's money will buy a fraction of what yours did. So-called loving parents continue to elect leaders who approve spending without funding, transferring the financial burden forward in time. So-called loving parents have allowed corporations to purchase residential homes at scale, senators, converting shelter into let's say a subscription service your children will never cancel. So-called loving parents have normalized credit card interest rates exceeding 20%, which mathematically doubles debt every 3.6 years if unpaid. So-called loving parents have delayed repairing roads, bridges, and water systems, increasing both the cost and probability of catastrophic failure. So-called loving parents have released over 1.6 trillion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, altering the climate stability your children depend upon. So-called loving parents have accepted healthcare costs rising at twice the rate of wages, ensuring illness will consume a greater share of their income. So-called loving parents have allowed education costs to increase more than 300% since 1990, ensuring Knowledge requires lifelong repayment. So-called loving parents have prioritized convenience over sustainability, accelerating resource depletion your children cannot reverse. So-called loving parents have normalized working longer hours for less purchasing power, reducing the time parents spend with their children. So-called loving parents have permitted artificial intelligence to replace workers faster than you have prepared your children to compete with it. So-called loving parents have allowed insurance costs to rise faster than protection, ensuring greater financial vulnerability. So-called loving parents have deferred difficult decisions because the consequences do not arrive during your lifetime. In addition to this being cowardly and foolhardy, this has immeasurable negative consequences. So-called loving parents have mistaken stability for permanence. So-called loving parents have mistaken growth for progress. So-called loving parents have mistaken delay for safety. So-called loving parents have mistaken inheritance for guarantee. I see some of you frowning in disgust, but please do not misunderstand my presentation. Most of you love your children emotionally. I am sure of that. But statistically, nearly all of you are abandoning future generations economically, either selfishly or complicitly. You must not continue what you are doing. You must stop accepting wages that grow slower than inflation, because every year you tolerate it, it permanently lowers your family's economic ceiling. You must stop treating home ownership as an investment vehicle first and shelter second, because speculation mathematically removes affordability. You must stop financing depreciating assets for longer than their useful life, because interest converts convenience into long-term poverty. You must stop electing leaders based on promises instead of fiscal outcomes, because debt without restraint compounds faster than prosperity. You must stop normalizing lifelong debt, because interest ensures your children begin life already behind. Senators, you must stop allowing corporations to outbid families for homes, because ownership concentration eliminates generational stability. You must stop postponing infrastructure maintenance, because delay multiplies both cost and danger. You must stop consuming resources faster than they regenerate, because depletion is irreversible within your children's lifetime. You must stop accepting education systems that require decades of repayment, because knowledge should expand opportunity, not restrict it. You must stop ignoring exponential trends, because exponential growth always appears harmless in its early stages. You must stop prioritizing convenience over resilience, because fragile systems fail suddenly. You must stop allowing healthcare costs to rise unchecked, because mathematically they will consume unsustainable portions of income. You must stop measuring success purely by consumption, because consumption without production weakens long-term security. You must stop assuming current conditions will persist, because stability is never permanent. You must stop allowing technological advancement to outpace human preparation, because displacement without adaptation creates instability. You must stop tolerating policies that transfer consequences forward in time, because your children cannot vote in your elections. You must stop mistaking access to credit for access to wealth, because debt, senators, is not ownership. You must stop ignoring environmental thresholds, because natural systems do not negotiate. You must stop believing someone else will solve these problems, because statistically, no one is coming. You must stop doing what is easy when it conflicts with what is necessary, because the future is shaped by accumulated decisions, not intentions. You must stop believing you have more time than you do. I digress, senators.